the Connecticut Muffin. Rick, good afternoon. How are you today, pal?
Hey, Christopher. I'm honored to take D'Antoni's place.
Yeah, well, nothing wrong with that. And D'Antoni will be on in the next 10 minutes. We'll find him.
Hey, let me talk quickly. I think it was a good signing by the Vikings. I think it's the cherry on top. They don't have to, they have the cap space. It works. And if you look at his last 3 years, he played 16 games. You look at his numbers, they're comparable with John Elway's best season.
Rick. He has played all this time. They gave him $90 million. He's never won a playoff game.
That's fine. John Elway won a long time without winning a playoff game.
Listen, Elway did play in 3 Super Bowls. I mean, before he won one. I mean, Rick, 2 years ago, he stunk down the stretch of the season.
Can I give you Elway's numbers in his best season?
Well, it's a different era, so I know what you're going to tell me, but it's a different era, Rick. That's 25 years ago now. They didn't throw the ball like they throw the ball today, no?
No, they threw here's Elway in 1903. He threw the ball 551 times, 25 touchdowns. In Cousins' best season, threw the ball 543 times, 29 touchdowns. Threw for 4,000 yards the last 3 seasons.
Can I ask it this way?
Sure.
You got a game to win. John Elway or Kirk Cousins?
At this point, John Elway, because we know what he can do after that. But Kirk Cousins is still a young player. He's
38. He's not that young. He's 31 years old. 30 years old. I mean, it's not like he's 23. He's 30. Rick, they gave him $90 million guaranteed money. He's never won a playoff game. And last year they got to an NFL championship game without him, for crying out loud.
That's fine, but he's proven he's played 16 games a season. They've had he's going to give him stability. He's thrown for 4,000 yards 3 seasons in a row.
Well, why'd the Redskins get rid of him then?
They didn't want to pay him the money. I think they've had him. I just think it's a good fit with the Vikings. They have the players around him. They have the defense, and he's a better. Would you agree to this? He's a better quarterback than the 3 players they have.
Yes. If I had my life on the line, I would take him over Keenan. But I will also say this, Rick: Keenan's won a playoff game. He never has.
That's fine, but you have to look at his numbers and say at some point he's going to win a playoff game.
You know how it is in the postseason. You got to make big plays. You can't fumble the ball, things like that. It's a different mindset. A game in the middle of November against the Cowboys that people, let's face it, it's a little different than playing in a big spot with the season on the line. He's got to go down the field. He did true. 2 years ago, Rick, when they needed a win in the worst way, he did nothing down the stretch of the season. Nothing.
That's true. I think you're hanging your hat too much on that Giant game.
Well, what did Rodgers do against the Giants the next week in the playoffs?
Yeah, Rodgers is a different player. I mean, that's not, you're talking about 2 different players, but I still think, given where the Vikings are, I like the signing. If he signed with the Jets, I thought it would have been an awful signing.
You think the Vikings being that close makes perfect sense? We'll wait and see. Tommy in Brooklyn, he's with us here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Tommy, good afternoon. How are you today? What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Chris? It's been a while. I touched base with you.
Nice to have you back aboard, Tom. What's happening now? What do you have for me?
Yeah. Okay, I got three things for you. In all fairness, I heard your opening with the Vikings and Cousins. Look, I'm not saying I'm a big Cousins fan, but I do have to admit that I think that Keenum got a little bit more credit than he should have. I know everybody's going to go to that Philly game, but that New Orleans game, he didn't really play that great. Yeah, he threw the pass at the end, the missed tackle, the touchdowns earlier in the game were both rushing touchdowns, a lot of dinking and dunking. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't think that Keenum would have been able to get them over the hump.
Well, again, they were favored in the NFL championship, in the NFC title game.
Right.
They were favored in the game. If that game was in Minnesota, who knows? They came within a game of winning the NFC with the best record. He got killed all year. Everybody was doubting Case Keenum all year. He's this, he's that, he's a backup, he's too small. Zimmer's, threatening him with Bradford and Teddy Bridgewater game after game after game, and he played really well. I mean, let's be honest. Yep. Now, I grant you that Cousins is, better. I'll grant you that. But is he $50 million better? That's the issue.
All right, I have to hit you with some baseball. I'm dying for the season to start. I don't care about the NCAA. I don't care about basketball, hockey. I'm betting on bocce tournaments over here. Look, the David Wright news. He's got to retire. He's got to retire. I know you watch all the games like I do. I've had the MLB baseball package since 2002. I watch all the games just like you do. I stay up late and watch them. And I don't know if you remember back in 2009, he got hit in the head by a pitch by Matt Cain.
No, I remember it. I remember it.
You remember? Okay, I know you remember. That's why I'm calling. He got hit. Ever since that had happened, it changed the whole trajectory of his career.
He had a lot of bad luck, Tommy, and I got to run because Dan D'Antoni's there. He's had a lot of bad luck. That was a very unlikely scenario with Kane, who is not one of those guys who is that wild, and he did hit him in the head, and there you